for Omega.
Oke guys, lanjut
Or
lagi guys ya. OMG
what they did was
melawan
Faramis. Actually,
RSG
Faramis
ya
is still a
guys
pretty
ya.
good pick.
Kita
And
coba ya
maybe
guys.
that's something that they
Apakah
will pick up
OMG
now.
bisa membalikan
Faramis, very
keadaan
good.
Solid choice
atau
and a
malah
solid
kagak ya
prediction.
guys ya?
Yep. Okay, so no Arlet
Kita
now for
lihat
RC
kan
because it
nanti
is
guys ya.
banned.
Respecting Nats as well.
Yep.
That
And no
game number
Benedetta.
one.
So this is a really good Faramis game. Good
Ya,
start.
big pick guys.
RC might consider getting an
Guys, ya,
AoE here.
guys.
Maybe a Claude actually. So I'm thinking, or maybe, maybe Claude and Fredrin perhaps for RSG. Fred Claude. That should be the opening.
With
I
the
think.
first opening that you've mentioned, I think that sets up on how RSG wanted to, maybe could want to take the early game.
Oh, Ruby.
But it was a different
Oh,
path. Okay,
Ruby.
so if
Fredrin.
oh,
So I think we're right with the
Fredrin,
Fredrin.
guys.
I think that's a voiceover skill. I thought I've mistaken Fredrin for a
Yeah.
different hero. But
Yeah.
how is this looking? Because
It's okay.
okay, still.
It's definitely. But for Omega, they might consider some. Oh, so it's still Roger.
Roger lagi
Florin?
guys.
Go
Roger
ahead.
lagi.
Go ahead, Barangay Omega can still pick it. But
Go
with
Florin?
with
Hyper
no
Ranger.
presence of
Cek
a
Hantamnya
Nolan,
tuh, guys.
Benedetta,
Di
and
RSG.
all of it, does this account for like this could be a roam-free game if they set up the Florin again?
Yeah, maybe. Whew.
Sweet
It is a
adventure
Florin.
starts here.
Okay.
But this time no Arlet. Okay, that means that they can pick up the Claude now. For RC. Or Harith, actually. I think they immediately will pick up Harith now.
Oh
For
man.
RC. I think this is the time where they third pick
SG.
Harith. Pick it. That's my idea here.
What do you would you change these picks? Like, I mean, would you change the last two picks for Smart Omega?
There it is.
Like, or would you?
For sure.
Farid guys.
Yes. The answer to that is yes. I think they will pick up a good hero from the gold lane. Definitely not
Not
a
the
Ruby.
Ruby, yeah. Since
Yep.
it's
Or I think Barrett is still pretty good. Or maybe actually, what if they pick up Akai instead as their fourth pick, as their
SG.
jungler? Put the Roger back in that gold lane, and then get somewhere along the lines of a good catch hero for Mr. Ryota, right? For Glue perhaps, but it was banned out earlier on, so it could be banned out again.
Matilda
Um,
sudah.
Yeah. Apart from that, maybe a Lapu Lapu actually they pick it up themselves, or Yu Zhong.
Yuzong apa?
Yeah, there's the Glue ban.
Oh,
okay. The glue ban is taken out. It's
Yeah.
again, I'm kind of just worried for Smart Omega in a way. Like, even when you see those first three picks, very similar, obviously, to the previous game. It's like, what? Even let's say the last two picks are changed. Obviously, the Ruby's not going to be there, but you know, gameplay-wise, it's like that early game, especially. That's where we really have to look at
Yeah.
as some of these mid lane bans come out. It's like, how does Smart Omega approach that? Because
Yeah.
you know, even looking at this real quick, the Fredrin for Demon Kite on point, 75% win rate here.
Super high. Yeah.
super.
I guess to answer your question about Omega, how did they approach this? Maybe ban Edith, or Novaria, either or. And Vexana makes a lot of sense when it comes to the bans. So that's very much understandable.
I think the Navaria is also a very good final ban
Yeah.
Yeah,
for this, because that was one of the problems that needed to adjust, because in game number one, they've been spotted out like early, and it was like a problem on how to even rotate quicker than expected. So the lineup was like, it wasn't like trying to even work quickly as expected. So would that be the
The
option?
falling stars.
Yep.
rise here.
That's
Okay.
it. That's it. That's the ban. Very good ban. So you're left with Valentina,
nose.
I believe, for RSG. Pretty good pick. Omega, actually, they can pick up X-Borg. If they want to... They can really just go back to that and make it so that their lineup is very sturdy. And then get an Akai, actually. I would rather see them put this Roger onto the side lanes than it is in the middle, because this is literally the same draft, so it'll be a problem. And then RSG might consider flexing this Ruby and get the Cho, as we saw from before, right?
Yeah.
However, I think the Valentina still merits a pick. Maybe along the lines of Lilia, actually.
Yeah.
there's the answer.
Paquito, wow.
Okay.
Big
Now
bird.
2, but Paquito still is with the XP lane for Naths. So if So we have the damage now to poke the Florin to keep using the Bloom and the Nether Realm for this Faramis. So does this answer without having or without knowing the mid laner for this yet?
Not yet.
Nathan. Kalau
I
nggak
don't think so.
Nathan,
No, for Omega.
kalau dia pakai
Maybe
Ruby lagi
Barrett's
kalah itu guys.
their choice. I forgot about that actually. Akai or Barrett's. And then is this also that Masha factor?
Kari.
When looking at this, like
Atau
imagine a
atau Kari.
Masha with a Florin, right? So the global presence is
atau
there.
Kari ya guys ya.
But that means that the Masha will be in the EX delay. Nathan,
Nah,
okay.
kan?
Okay.
Oh man. Export, as we mentioned.
What a good pick. Okay.
Man, another greedy pick here for Omega.
Yeah, it's greedy. I mean, this is when you look at it, it's expensive.
Very expensive.
Yep, early game, you just need to make everything work.
Valentina answers all of this, right?
Valentin, paling tidak
Copies
Valentin
everything,
Or,
yeah.
actually,
Yeah.
what if RC goes back to a
Valentin,
Farsa?
Oh, yeah,
man.
already bad.
That would be good.
That would be great. Okay, but nobody is playing Farsa.
Yeah,
Anyways. That's my
Is
that's
that
my
like,
big bet. If there is,
Well, if we're looking at
Bucket list.
teams who can
Valentin
pull
lah.
off like
Valentin,
a
dah,
surprise
siapa
pick,
yang
RC
itu?
can do it.
Yep.
Like RSG, AP, Bren,
yeah. But
go ahead.
Lilia is just so good. Yeah, Valentina or
Lilia.
Lilia are the
Valentinnya Lilia.
options here for us. The standard choices. Okay,
Valentina kan?
Okay,
pretty standard.
fair answer.
Oke guys.
I mean, in that way
Kita
too, probably the best thing that
mulai.
you want to take is the Nether Realm, right? I mean, for the
For
most
sure.
part, might as well just take that, extend some of the fight. You already know you're going to have to go into it quite a bit. Just the fact that Florin's there, we've already talked about this quite a bit today because Florin is the flavor of the day. You know, like it's a
Yeah.
pick that is the true healing, really helps out, but teams will figure it out as well. Like we
Tersaksikan
saw
ya
with
guys
RSG
ya.
the previous game.
Pertandingan
Now, in this
RSG
case, once again,
sama
that's still my question
OMG.
was this lineup from
Apa-
Omega. Like we
apa
saw
Omega
great things from them
akan
and glimpses of it
Lurus
yesterday
balik
and for the previous game, which wasn't there. So
atau
now it's kind of like this is its own
RSG
form of
menang.
redemption
Kita
here
nantikan itu
as they go
di
for it.
match kedua.
You guys can let us
Game
know in the
kedua
comment
ini, guys.
section below which team you're feeling like is going to win
Kedua
here.
nih.
Is it going to be Smart Omega? Is it going to be RSG to cap out
Okay,
a
guys.
day of sweeps? Well, we'll
Kita
see
mulai.
exactly what unfolds here. The lineup from RSG looks solid,
Nathan akan
covers
bisa
the
membawa
bases.
perubahan
So
atau
let
malah
us know what
hancur.
you think as we jump into the Land of Dawn once again. It's match point for RSG. And keep an eye once again for that goodie bag on TikTok if you're watching there with us. Now as we get to it, the rotation
Udah
started,
kemarin,
the
guys.
drums beating
Udah
here
kemarin.
for the Raiders. They're ready to see a similar kind of start here. We'll see if this time H2O has a better start in that jungle especially.
Katakan
Legit
2-1
scared for
atau
Omega
menjadi
because,
2-0 guys.
Not for Ryota for sure, because this is a really good lane for him. But imagine facing up against, facing up against a good early game lineup with Harith, and you have late game scaling heroes in the form of Roger as well as this Nathan, and then you also have the Florin, which kind of doesn't front for you. It's a scary spot to be in, but a gamble nonetheless, because it means that if we go to a late game situation, oh my, they are very strong.
And aggressive. The pressure onto this EXP onto Ryota focuses more like a starting pattern for RSG. So
Kita lihat ya
from
guys ya.
XP lane to gold lane, I think it's all about how they could actually start similarly. But depends how they want to pull this off. Again, Omega is looking for a way to amp up their early game. With this expensive lineup, we see how Nathan, we see how, again, X-Borg could actually win a mid to late game situation, but it depends on how you want to start your early game.
Well, with that, again, at this point in the game, nothing too crazy happening. And this could, when I say that, that's probably a good thing for Smart Omega. Nothing too crazy happening. Just get that farm up the best you can. Get your positioning on lockdown. Now, the fact that they don't have level 4 just yet on a couple of the members is something they want to get figured out here really quickly, unless they just stall it out. That could be the best game plan for them. Maybe even to the point where it's like, hey, give up this first turtle. Maybe not even contest it. It might go that way here. OSX, it looks like it is. We have H2O just making his way to this top side of the map, waiting for that purple buff to be available. So maybe that's the plan of the game. Slow it down, do the best we can.
It's a slow and steady process. If you have a Nathan and you have a Florin with you in the early game, probably what you can do is just start on your own momentum, especially with your lane. We're talking about the late game damage potential or the walking condition of Barangay Omega. It can count on with H2O, it can count with Ryota, even for Jome, but it requires time and even momentum. It depends on how they want to get a kill for even for Jome. So this will actually be in check on how will the lanes be pressured, if they can, or even them can get a counter pressure with RSG. Because right now they're rotating freely across the map, and slowly they're building up with the lead, 1.1k.
I'll tell you this, man. Even with nothing, nobody's going down, right? RSG. Oh, hold on.
I'm offended. Be good. Connects to Akira. He forced out a resource, but RSG was just starting with the poke and pressure.
As I was saying, with no bodies going down, RSG still holding on to this little minor lead. So, and when we go back to where Wolf was mentioning, like, hey, you know, it's kind of, he didn't like that last pick because the Nathan got brought up, and then you already have that Roger there. So it's like, it is an expensive lineup. Now, what could really work here, hold on, Demonkite already showing the presence like they did before into this side of the jungle here. Can they do anything about it?
They're trying to bring up the pressure, but Light started with the initiation setup. First blood on RSG. Now just contesting this orange alone, they continually successfully get a resource out of H2O.
Oh, that's tough. Again, H2O struggling to get these buffs on this Roger.
This is the problem for Omega. They got away with it yesterday, and now they tried it twice against RSG, and it's not working, unfortunately.
I'm offended. Now there's no Faraga armor for Ryota. Now he's forced back in his own turret. Turtle is up, not looking good for the XP lane to be in this contention, but RTZ and Light sees opportunity to take him down, and Light secures the kill. And Demonkite freely, Appraiser's Wrath being used, but meanwhile up top, hold that. Jome on 3/4 HP. Demonkite secures the turtle, and Omega brings back pressure and response to the gold lane of RSG.
Vengeance. Interesting.
H2 being taunted, Synchro Fission connecting onto him, forced out of the Netherrealm. Now RTZ going back and forth, dashing in through. H2 falls. Kusei gets that one.
Oh, that's tough. Again, in a matter of what, maybe a minute or so, minute and a half or so, RSG's found themselves with a nice, comfortable lead at this point, right? They got a couple kills, they got the objectives they were looking for, and then, like that, they find themselves in this position where Smart Omega, it already feels like their backs are against the wall. So, if they can get a kill on any of these, on anyone, hopefully specifically Jome at some point, he's got that feather, and you know that might be enough to win a small skirmish with the sustainability they have. But right now, they're having a hard time. Speaking of Jome,
Light, so the concealed Jome is just the only one left for Barangay Omega. Flickers out, Demonkite secures him, you're not going back home! He falls! Now another one being terrified, H2O being in trouble, RTZ secures another kill. Ryota looking for a way to go and respond and give some support back to Barangay Omega, but it's too late. The RSG is eyeing on the first tier turret in mid of Omega, and they take it down securely.
How about that prediction from Demonkite?
yeah.
He dashed to where H2... Oh, sorry, yeah. It was Jome. To where Jome will be flickering in. Gets the kill afterwards. Great job coming out from Mr. Cedric, a.k.a. Demonkite.
Oh, still going.
That's the pull. I'm offended play by Light. He secures down Jome. That's Nas with the double kill. That's Insanity using for a way to escape RTZ. Now using that against H2O and Rebo. Now they're going with the base. Synchro Fission takes him down. And I'm lost for words, mumbling upon what happened. RSG just showing dominance of this moment in time in the game. Same moment. It's 8k gold lead at 7 minutes.
It's flashbacks, gentlemen, from the previous game. 9,000 nearly ahead against Smart Omega at the 7-minute mark. And once again, they found themselves in a position where we can't do anything but stay together and deal with it. And Light and Kosei this time dealing with a lot of this. So again, if you're RSG, you have this kind of lead. That's now the third turtle in your favor. You're going to continue to work on these objectives, get the space you need. Smart Omega, what can they do here?
Shadow Stampede connecting onto Nats. Will they be able to secure
you
this pick
kidding
off?
me?
Nats is trying to get away. Oh, Vragarm is out for Ryota. He won't be able to escape this one. Nats secures the kill. He is on a killing spree. And RSG continues to take one. Jome forced out the Nether Realm onto Okey. Kusei right in front of H2O. They can't do anything about it. And Omega retreats back to base.
Oh, are you kidding me? Nats escapes that. And he utilized his champ stance to dodge H2. I mean, it was a knockout strike. The ultimate threads the needle. Didn't rely on the knockup. And really, that's masterful Makito play coming out from Nats. Woo.
Ini
Again,
It's the oh wow.
at this point of the game, you're just waiting. RSG gets the shields down from these turrets, and they're going to go ahead and get this Lord in a minute. Jome, though, at least trying to find
Overstayed.
something.
Oh,
He
it's over.
overstayed.
He's overstayed.
over.
But he
Light
gets the turret.
spotted. Jome overstayed his presence. That's the I'm offended. Be good. Be good, says Light. Arteezy takes him down.
Oh, man. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, everyone's like, all right, let's go for Navs. But right now, that's not going to work either.
Wow,
Confidence.
H2O receives a chunk of damage from Nats' jabs.
Peace ka.
Kahit might reach Ryota.
Oh, Ryota using that last insanity to get back to his turret safely. And Omega now being pushed again in their own base.
Cemas dia.
Burned last insanity for that, but that's a low cooldown ultimate anyways. However, 9 minutes, 11,000 gold lead for RSG. Might even be worse from game number 1. And like I said, I'm scared for Omega's lineup because it's very late game dependent. And we're looking at the actual weak link here for Omega, which is them relying on items for both of their cores. So this is H2 as well as Jome being so item dependent that they don't have any strength at all in the early to the mid stages of the game.
Dan,
Wow. Another objective, and that's the Lord for RSG.
ngulas
They find themselves in that same position.
Same scenario in game number 1. One turret only taken out from RSG.
Kusei gets the purple.
Oh, stolen.
It's
No.
uptime to the highest point for the Harith.
Not to mention,
It's completely online.
Kosei can literally just throw himself in this team fight, pop the Vengeance and bob and weave through the Zaman Force and be completely fine. At that stage, Smart Omega, I mean, they really have to hope to hold on. They have to hope that this Nether Realm and the heals for the Blooms can keep them in this game. They're going to go for it now.
Shadow Stampede looking for a way to catch one. That's a Sprout, but I think onto Light. Ryota, wow. Faraga armor melted right away. Going back to the base to recall and regen his armor back. Lord is pushing in down bottom. Waves as well. Can they defend? That's the stun. Kusei gets the stun. Arteezy has the ultimate of the Faramis. Meanwhile, Nats just pushing in the last tier turret in mid. Lord being melted down quickly. Now Arteezy still has the ultimate. No resources committed just yet. But hold that thought. Arteezy used the ultimate. By the way, still looking for a way to get back that cooldown up. Base is open. The question is, will RSG officially take this? But there's still waves pushing. And Omega's still defending.
It's flashbacks, guys.
Flashbacks,
Same
definitely.
thing.
15K nearly.
Yeah. I'm sure that, Panda really did share some words to them after that game. Because the way that they behaved in that push, nevertheless, it doesn't change the fact that Omega is still struggling. How many? I think, and I'm going to guess this. I think the only time that Omega can turn this around is fastest 18 minutes, standard 23 minutes. That's how long they should try to save themselves and try to weather the storm. So this is a countdown. They need 8 minutes from now of staying alive.
8 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, Barangay Omega needs 8 minutes to activate a damage out of this lineup. An expensive lineup to pull off with RSG's dominance and waves pushing in. Can they survive? Can they pull down even a member out of RSG?
Even with 8 minutes, that's going to seem like a long time for them with this kind of
It is a long
deficit to
time.
work from. And, we're 30 seconds away from the Lord, and if they learned anything, if RSG learned anything from the previous game, I don't think they they don't press any of this situation. They're like, you know what? They definitely had some words like Wolf said. We're going to go ahead, secure this Lord in 10 seconds, and then we'll go in for the push. And that's when light can unleash, right? That's when you expect that flicker combination to come through with this Ruby, possibly even put pressure from Navs with the Bakito. So really, when you wait for this kind
Same
of...
thing, Hussein Demon
Yeah.
Kite, man.
When you wait for it to set up here,
Udah kalah ya.
Smart Omega, they have to kind of check themselves, like, are we in a position to
jadi
stay in
kalau
this game
FM
with
nggak
this kind of
jadi,
deficit? We need
Hyper
those
nggak jadi guys.
next 5 minutes if we
Madrid
can.
juga no,
So how do
14
you
juga
go
no.
about that? When you're when
Oh,
you're down
kayak ke-
this far
Mage.
and you have this kind of lineup, how do you stay in
Udah,
this
kalau
game?
tuh jadi
Orange
kalau.
Ah,
and purple
man.
taken out as well,
Just-
stolen.
Clear the waves. The waves, the minions, top
Hyper nggak
priority
jadi,
for Omega.
Factor nggak jadi, nggak jadi kalau ini.
Because that,
Kalau
that
nggak
is
jadi
the
tuh.
only time where they cannot,
Susah.
where RSG cannot end the game. If there are no minions in front, and
Oh,
that's the only thing I can say.
Kumpul.
Fortunately for Omega, they have
N
Borg
ini, N
and Borg,
Kayak N kali
Paramis,
ini.
and Nathan. So they got that covered.
That's what I was gonna say. So like defense-wise, their lineup should be able to hold at least a defense, but we'll see if RSG lets them.
Now the base is open for the Raiders to take. Now what's the call? What's the setup? Ryota, no Faraga armor. Lord is up pushing onto the crystal, and it's done. RSG coming in hot with a power spike. They continue their winning streak.
guys.
Very Raider-like, emulated from a game one in a very similar fashion, but a little more refined. RSG comes out swinging with a sweep.
In the last sequence for RSG, you saw Nats poke the Borg. And we're talking about how important the X-Borg is in the defense. The fact that his Faraga armor was already taken out after Nats poking him and then